What's up, guys? So every week I want to make a video on Friday to share an insight, share something that helped me improve my life, improve my personal growth, or anything that I think that somebody can gain from. Whatever I'm sharing, if it doesn't resonate with you, just fucking click the video away. If it does resonate with you, just try to see what you can get out of it for yourself. Think for yourself. Doesn't mean that somebody says something that is the truth. This is my experience, and what I'm sharing are my experience. They're not science backed, or even though if science backed, that doesn't mean that that truth is 100% the way to go. Which is also a link to what I wanted to talk about today, is how we have certain perspectives in life. So yeah, every week I want to share an insight, and today's insight is perspective on life and how that can be a tool for you to cope with certain things in life, because we all have hardships, we all have life challengings, the general, and whatever comes on top of that, you know. It's a rough world out there, and sometimes to get certain tools is just to help you get through certain things, you know. So a perspective is basically how you choose to view something. So a perspective can be on life, a perspective can be on a situation, on something, on an object, on yourself. That's just the way that you view something through your lens. So everybody has a lens. Everybody has something what they looking through. And that lens is created, if you know a bit about mindset, that lens is created by your beliefs, how you were formed as a child. Because when we were younger, we didn't had those perspectives. We were just a blank slate. Everything that we knew was just how to cry when we're not agreeing with something, how we wanted to be nutritious if we were hungry, how we wanted to just smile and be happy if we wanted to be happy, you know, if we felt like it. There were not certain beliefs that you have. So throughout your years, you gain those beliefs, you gain those perspectives, and whatever you're conscious of it or not, which is basically the whole key of perspective, you choose to believe in certain things. And that created your whole world, that created your perspective on how life can be. And the reason why I wanted to talk about that one is because it is, like I said, it is the consciousness, the awareness of your perspective is something that can help you, like I said, in life, can help you with mental health, can help you improve in certain things, and then help you gain free from all the pressure maybe in society, or that's what I feel. So to be aware of the perspectives that you have on life, and a simple way of talking about that is is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? That's two distinctives that people quite have. Are they pessimistic or are they optimistic? So for example, man, I can choose from any fucking experience in my life that I had a certain perspective on. But one of the perspectives on life that I have was automatically that I thought that I wanted to have a certain life. As in, I went to school, I got a degree, went to university, got another degree, worked full time in social work in a psychiatric with elder people, as a care worker. And had a partner, had an apartment, and I thought that was my life. I thought that was what I was supposed to be doing, you know, that was my perspective on life. And because that was my only perspective on life, I couldn't weight it off to other perspectives, because everybody was doing that. Everybody had that life. Everybody that I knew went to school, got a degree, got a job, got a boyfriend or a girlfriend, started living with each other, got babies, married, and then worked their whole fucking life to retirement, and then they try to enjoy their lives with the money that they earned. And none of what I'm saying is coming from judgment. But sharing the insight is just something that, like I said, can help you maybe to see things differently. Because for me, that life wasn't something that I wanted to live. And it felt like something was missing. And it was till a point where I was grateful and happy that I had someone that loved me, someone that wanted to share his life with me. I had a home, and I was grateful for all the things that I had, but still something felt missing. Like, it didn't felt like that was the thing that I needed to do, and I really wanted to travel. So at one point, you know, the relationship came to an end, and I just fucked everything off. I just stopped my job. I got my degree, so I just didn't want to do anything with that. And I stopped the rent of my apartment, and I gave away everything that I had, which basically was a couch and a TV. This was not a lot. And I went traveling. And don't get me wrong, like, I pooped my pants doing it. Like, I didn't almost went on that plane, but going on that plane was the best decision that I ever made for myself. Because holy shit, that was just another world full of different perspectives on life. I looked through a keyhole of life. I had one perspective of how life is supposed to be living. And then all of a sudden, I saw people living a total different life. I come from a very privileged Western world where we have everything at our disposal if we wanted to. We have opportunities and whatsoever. And I came into Indonesia in a world where they don't have that, where they live off, in my eyes, poverty, where they don't have fancy houses or food that can like get them going for months or for years, where they seem to be settled for less, but we're so happy to share things even if they didn't have a lot. I came into homes where people were so happy to share their food with me, but didn't have shoes on their feet to support them, you know, which was like mind-blowing because I never experienced another world like that. And they were so nice, and they were all smiling, and that just completely changed my perspective of how I can live my life, you know? That you don't need, for me, you don't need a lot to be happy. And that's what they kept saying. I'm like, why are you so happy? Like, you're all so happy and grateful in this life because we choose to be. Like, don't get me wrong, they still have their life's challenges. It's not there's an whole other story, but they said to me, like, they choose to be happy. Like, they're all Buddhists, almost all Buddhistic, which is a belief that they do believe in, that the life purpose is for you to be happy. I never thought about that. It's like nobody ever asked me if I'm happy. People ask me how I'm doing. People ask me how's my job. People ask me how's your boyfriend, or do you have a boyfriend, or do you have a husband? Do you have a baby? Do you own a house? Like, it's all materialistic, and it's all just, nobody ever asked me that question. And then I was thinking about myself, oh, am I happy? Well, I was the happiest I ever could be traveling around. And then if that couldn't even be more better, I met the love of my life in Thailand. And I spoke about this in the other video, and he just showed me his perspectives on life. And those were so mind-blowing as well, because he showed me the way that Carl lived his life was the way that he's just squeezed every drop of joy out of life, and he wanted to experience life. Well, I thought I was experiencing life, but I was just going on autopilot, and he snapped me out of it. And here's what I mean with the awareness behind the perspective. Why do you do what you do? Why do you choose to live that certain way? Not with judgment, just to be an observer, to get that helicopter view of your life. Like, why is it actually why I'm having this job? Is it because I'm enjoying it? Or is it because that is what I thought people wanted of me? Why am I in this relationship? Is it because I really love her? Or is it because I don't want to be alone? Why am I saying these things? You can ask yourself why. There is a balance. Like, sometimes things should just are the way that they are. But it's good to be aware and ask yourself that question, and be aware of the perspectives that you have on life. And what Carl showed me was a whole new different way of being, of knowing that I'm the person that chooses stuff. Like, life is for me. I choose. It doesn't happen to me. I don't need to do shit. And that kind of already came from me. Like, as a child, I used to say, I used to always do whatever the fuck I want to do. Not because I was a brat or because I was a troubled kid, but because I just didn't understand sometimes why people said me no or told me stuff. And if it didn't make sense to me, I'll still do whatever the fuck I want to do. Because I knew I was a good kid. I knew I wasn't hurting anyone. I knew that in my eyes, in my perspective, it didn't make a lot of sense. So I still did what I wanted to do. And like I said, at some point through life and through all the things that I went through, you know, the autopilot one was talking about, and my perspective on life, like that's the thing that I needed to do. I lost that curiosity. I lost the kid that kept fucking asking the why question. You know, that 4-year-old kid that just kept asking, but why? Why is the grass green? Why is the sky blue? Yeah, good question. Why were we not asking more whys? Why were we just taking up someone's opinion about something? And there are a lot of opinions nowadays. And we just, because somebody has a degree or because somebody has authority or because somebody chooses a different way, why do we just take that and just, yeah, that's the whole truth? Well, nothing is a whole truth. That's their perspective. And if that resonates with you, sure, you can believe in that. 100%. And if that makes sense to you, like if there's one thing that I admire in Kyle, is that he never changes himself for anyone. He believed in himself, and I think that's like the thing that I admire the most in people, is when they are truly themselves without performing. There's a distance between that. They are 100% themselves, just being them. They're not loud, they're not performing, they're not trying to show everyone that they're themselves, but they're just them. And if you don't fuck with that, you don't fuck with that. If you like them, you like them. And Carl was the most generous person I ever met, and he was always sitting down with people trying to help him see these perspectives in life and to open up their eyes for life and to show them the perspective that the glass is indeed half full. My perspective. But why choose to see the negative as is? Negative things are never a good feeling. Doesn't mean that you need to be always positive about everything, but you can be neutral. You can be an observer, like something happened to you, and believe me, it's not always the easiest thing to do. But this is where perspective saved me from being in a victim position, from being someone that was pessimistic about life, fuck everything, anger and ashamed of myself and doing all these stuff. It didn't make me grow. That's where positivity and a different outlook on life can help make you grow, because negative is never gonna help you being in that negative downward spiral, you know, it's never gonna help you. But sometimes we need to go through stuff to digest stuff that happened to us. And I'm not saying that you can't be, oh, I need to be positive about a situation, somebody stole my wallet and you know, that's such a good thing that happened. Nah, that's fake. I'm not saying fake, but I'm also saying like shit that happens, digest it and then outview it. Be an observer, like why did that happen? Like there is always these little things, these deeper meanings behind it, and that's something that I believe in, and that's not something that you should or would want to believe in if you're not ready for that yet. But it is just a different perspective again. So you see that having in a situation, you can either see it through a lens of destroying and negativity and a lens of failure or shame, or you can choose to see it through a lens that, what can I learn from this? What is the reason why I did that? And be the curiosity kid, that 4-year-old annoying kid that keep asking the reasons why. And I think if you integrate that in your life, if you choose to doubt the perspectives that you have on life right now, so present moments, what are the perspectives on your life? Why do you do what you do? And then if you answer these questions, it takes you further away on whatever journey or whatever path you're following right now. And it's sometimes choosing a different perspective on life as well is also going to help you further, because you limit yourself if you have one perspective about something, if it's black or if it's white. But 9 out of 10 times it's not black or white, it's yellow or blue or whatever fucking color that you want to choose to. it's never just one side or the other way. It's never left or right. It's always a little bit in between, you know, and that's what the balance is about. And it's something you can take away whatever you want to take away. If maybe something resonates you, maybe you fucking think I'm talking shit out of my mouth, but it did help me, and it did help me to see different perspectives of life, of all the things, all the life hardships that I went through. The moment that I only had one perspective, like that shit happened to me and I was a victim and that shouldn't happen to me. Of course you think that, of course that's your first reaction. It's very normal, it's human. But when you can take a helicopter view out of it, after you digest what happened, you know, after you dealt with it, after you felt it, and you can choose to see a different perspective on it, that it actually was for a reason, and what lesson that you took out of it. My perspective on life is that everything is neutral, and that you can choose how you want to see something. Do you want to see it bad, or do you want to see it positive? Do you want to see all the negative stuff around it and all the sadness, or do you want to see what actually can help you in that moment, that was, even if it's the smallest light point, to choose to see that light point? You can try it out and ask the fucking questions of why you do what you do.